Hello, I'm Avery or Hazel or Kylie. You can just pick one. I don't care.
Hello, I am Lily.
And welcome to the From the Closet podcast. Today we're something caught in my throat there. Today we are covering Zootopia. I almost said Amphibia.
Wrong show.
Yeah, wrong thing entirely. But anyway, so for technical reasons, I had to spin the wheel before we started recording, and it landed on bad guys.
Okay, that was a bit sooner than I was expecting.
Yeah. So you can join us. What? Wait. Tomorrow? Wait. I don't
Oh,
know. How does this
it's
work?
next week Tuesday.
Don't we normally release the TV show episodes on the Tuesday?
I don't know. You made the schedule.
I think the schedule might be wrong. I'll have to fix that. Either way, I think both Bad Guys and Amphibia Season 2 are next week.
Oh wait. Oh, sorry. It's a funny case of I can't actually read. Okay, so actually this episode is being released on a Tuesday. Wait, no, I can read. Wait, this episode being released on a Monday. Tomorrow's Amphibia Season 2. Okay, we're good now. Next week is
Okay.
the move Avery just said and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2.
Okay. See, that's better. I had a feeling there was some issue because Amphibia should not be on a Monday.
Okay, glad we sorted that out.
So yeah, you can join us tomorrow for Amphibia and next week for Bad Guys and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2. Oh yeah, and the Amphibia is Season 2 as well. So
God, so many Season 2s.
yeah. Shut up. Anyway, this podcast will contain spoilers for Zootopia. You will find a link in the description below to Just Watch, which will have which on the Just Watch page there will be links to every place you can rent, purchase, or stream Zootopia. Our link is to the US version of the site. However, if you use the Just Watch app, it will redirect you to your country's page. And you will be able to manually change the country from the website page if you use the website. Also in the description, you'll find a link to our Patreon where you can vote on future episodes of this show, as well as get early access to episodes and early access to episodes of our sister show, Off the Shelf, which is about books. And that podcast is exclusive to YouTube and Patreon. And also in the description is a link to Anchor.fm where you'll find links to every single platform that this podcast is on, as well as links to our Instagram and Twitter, where you can be notified when we post a new episode. So yeah, with all that being said, that's pretty much all the spoiler-free thoughts. The spoiler-free stuff, so get out of here if you want to avoid spoilers.
So, you know how you have me watch the cinema therapy, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm just like, watching them is like, this is everything I want to be, you know? You know, they're watching movies with their popcorn sponsorship, everything like that. It's like,
I don't think that video was sponsored.
I don't think so. But they did get, like, their link to the actual movie. They got part of the revenue of that. I'm like, these guys are so cool. I want to be them. You know, I'm sitting here watching the movie Popcornless. I guess I can make my own popcorn, but it's not flavored.
I mean, I probably can't make my own popcorn considering my microwave doesn't work.
I mean, you can still get popcorn that's, you know, you don't use the microwave. It's just a bit harder.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
I mean, fair enough.
I mean, So this movie tackles like implicit bias, which is very much like um, it's very much an issue that is like hotly debated upon. Like certain people try to act like it doesn't exist, and certain people act like everyone has the same implicit biases, which I think both sides are nuts on that. Um,
And the,
I think the real answer is somewhere in the middle.
so, a lot of times when I see stuff like this, the other side points to the other extremist side as like everyone that doesn't agree with me thinks that. And that's another thing
Yeah,
that I've noticed as well.
like I recall seeing a video on YouTube where like a girl saw some of this stuff. I probably shouldn't say a girl because I think actually they may have been non-binary. I just can't remember. This was like 6 fucking years ago. Um, anyway, this person saw uh, the the some study about implicit bias and made a video in which they said all white people are racist, all men are misogynistic, all cisgender people are transphobic. And I'm like,
No.
no.
Yeah, no, that's wrong.
Yeah, that's not quite how implicit bias works. Yes, everyone has implicit biases, but not everyone has the same implicit biases.
It's like saying everyone that's not me hates me. Actually, no, that physically is saying everyone that's not me hates me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Though, I was also looking at this movie as well, with something else in mind. Because the movie also can be related as stereotyping as well.
Yeah, and I do have some concerns about this
Hmm.
movie. Like, this movie feels like a movie that I can just see, like 20 years from now, people saying this movie hasn't aged well. Because, I don't know, the race metaphor doesn't exactly seem that great.
I think
That
it's
said,
also like,
uh,
yeah, that's one thing, but I think there's a bigger metaphor of like the bias, but also stereotyping, which can go also just beyond race as well. You know, and a lot of yeah, we have to deal with people stereotyping us as well.
well, there's also the conversation about how the whole night howler flower thing could potentially be a metaphor for how the U.S. government just kind of spread crack cocaine throughout black neighborhoods in the 60s. I think it was the 60s.
Hmm.
So that's potentially not great either.
No, yeah, no, that's really not great. Though there's definitely some underlining issues here, but underneath a lot of that, I can also see a really good movie. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of these are speculation on like how this movie is going to be seen 20 years from now. Um, I do think it's a fairly enjoyable movie. There is one major story aspect that I really don't like, and I'll talk about it
You mean
later.
the one story aspect that everyone doesn't like, that everyone talks about constantly?
I don't really see a lot of people talking about this movie, so I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Really, I say a lot of. I mean, um, it's not like I go out my way, but if I just happen to see it, it's like, why not? So I don't know if you remember this. You probably do. When I said this is actually my favorite Disney movie. I think, yeah,
Yeah, like
That definitely still holds up true today.
I've said before that I don't like. I don't know. I think this movie is probably A tier. I don't think it holds a candle to something like Wreck-It Ralph or Tangled or The Lion King or Atlantis.
I think.
In fact, I remember.
Hmm,
Wait, no, actually, that might have been Frozen. Never
eh.
mind. I think I remember it was either Frozen or Zootopia, where going in, people were saying that, oh, it's better than Lion King, better than Lion King, better than Lion King. And then coming out of it, I was like, that wasn't even in the same league as Lion King.
I don't know. Could be Zootopia. Could be Zootopia, but also could be Frozen because a lot of people just hyped that movie up for fucking no reason.
And also, Frozen has the exact same plot as Lion King.
That is true. Um,
Yeah, so
though I will have to say, like, the funniest thing about this movie is this movie is probably the most Disney movie of people getting their, how would I say, furry realization.
huh. Uh, The Lion King kind of also did that.
This There's just so much funny, just so much funny about that statement alone.
See, the other thing too is like I'm pretty sure there was a Frozen reference in this movie.
Oh yeah,
Um,
there's actually a lot of movies that got referenced, like in a.
no, like I don't just mean in that, scene where the guy had like a bunch of like bootlegs. I mean like a completely different Frozen reference. And now I think I'm remembering it cuz like someone's talking to Judy
Oh yeah, it
and
says "Let it go," which a lot of people says,
well,
or is it a different one? There's.
hold on. It is that, but also just before that, he says something like, "This isn't some like magical fantasy where you sing a little song and all your intrepid dreams come true."
Hmm.
And then he says, "Let it go," which is like I don't know. Those two things together almost feel like a Frozen reference to me.
Yeah. Like just I guess that on its. Though I try. Fuck. Sorry. Um. I actually heard someone say, like, let it go. Oh, it's a Disney reference. Like, the last fucking Ace Attorney game, the prosecutor was filled with nothing but move on, let it go. Like, I'm pretty sure that's a saying beyond just a bad Disney song.
See, like I feel like the case for this being a Frozen reference is much stronger than in the song "All of You" in Kanto when Bruno says "Let it go." I think this case is stronger than that one.
Actually, well, one of the biggest things for him is that the way that he's sprinkling the salt looks like snow, which he does that very conveniently right when he said let it go. I would definitely say that's a stronger case than this line, which actually makes
Uh,
sense in the context of Judy needing. Well, Jude. Actually, wait, I forgot what the commissioner name was.
I didn't care
Fair
enough.
enough. Hell, he probably couldn't wasn't even named. But the commissioner
He was
just wanting,
he definitely was named. I just didn't
hmm,
care.
but the commissioner wanting Judy to let this case go.
Obviously, that doesn't happen because Bellwether shows up and is like, "Oh yeah, I've just heard Judy has taken the case," and I don't know. That's some. Ugh. Let's get into her. This is another case of Disney doing terrible twist villains.
You know,
She's not. She is not detectable at all. Um, on rewatch, you cannot possibly pick it up.
I did. I
And
totally fucking
after,
did. That was too
no, you
fucking
didn't.
obvious.
There was
Um,
there was there was no hint. There was nothing to pick up. You're just saying that because you already knew because you've seen it a dozen
well,
times.
I think one of the biggest things that I've noticed was how Bellwether was always 5 steps away from Judy. Like, everything in that fucking movie was moved along by Bellwether.
And then there's also the fact that her personality just completely shifts and changes 180 degrees as soon as the reveal happens. And this is a common trope with every single Disney twist villain. This happened with Hans. It happened with Evelyn Dever. It happened with fucking what was that fucking ass's name in Big Hero 6? That guy.
He had like 5 lines before,
He had way more than that.
the twist.
I mean, regardless of that one wasn't much of a twist because it was so telegraphed. But no, this one, nah. They, in fact, this one actually provides you with a red herring to make it not as telegraphed.
That is,
And it
yeah. Though I find it interesting how Lionheart obviously wasn't the main villain, though obviously wasn't just in his actions either.
yeah. And I mean, there's also this weird feeling I get about Lionheart. Like, I don't know. Something tells me he wants me to put pictures of Spider-Man on his desk.
You're making the joke again. Good job.
Well, I hadn't made it in the podcast yet, so
Good job. Are you proud of yourself? Just asking. Okay,
yes.
just wondering.
If I didn't make the joke and you knew he was voiced by J.K. Simmons, you would have made the joke too.
You're right. You're right.
So yeah, I think she's just another terrible twist villain from Disney's trend of doing it. It seems like they've kind of stopped now. I hope, because good God, it got annoying.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if there's any twist villains in Strange World. I'm actually.
Well, I mean, if there are, don't tell me because I haven't seen it yet, and I want us to cover that movie.
God, that movie. Sorry, just the reception of that movie is like, oh, don't let your kids see it. It has the gay. I'm like, no, it really doesn't. Like, it's like 3 scenes at most. They don't even
That's
kiss.
more than any other Disney movie. That's more than any other Disney movie has ever had. It's more than Lightyear even had, from what I
They
hear.
don't even
But
kiss. They just
generally,
talk about having a crush.
but I mean, at the same time, what I'm hearing from the reception of the movie is this movie existed.
Well, I mean, I'm going out for the more extreme parts of like, we hate this movie. It's so bad. It has gay.
Dude, like, people get outraged over every single Disney movie that comes out. Like, when was the last time you saw a Disney movie that people weren't angry about?
Hmm.
Because I can
Give me
recall
a
people
second.
being angry
It'll
about.
come to me.
I can recall people being angry about Turning Red, Raya and the Last Dragon. Granted, that was justified. Soul, Coco,
Wait, who is angry at Soul again? Oh wait,
mostly super fundamentalist Christians.
right.
Um, People were angry about Encanto because magic. Uh,
What?
yeah, it's stupid.
I give up. Oh,
For some reason, I feel like there were people angry about Luca too, but I can't remember any reasons why anyone would want to be angry at that movie.
Because fish. They're allergic to fish, and that's why they hate the movie.
No, it's because they're racist against Italians. They hate pasta.
Oh no. This movie, I have to be honest, is actually really good, really well animated, I'd say. And while I'm not exactly
I mean,
surprised,
yeah.
but um, the has a lot of really good details on, this world building.
I also really liked how like they made Judy look feminine, but without doing anything super weird to do so. I think it's mostly in the shape of her face how they managed it,
Oh yeah,
and I thought it was.
didn't think about that.
I just thought that was nice. Like, they didn't have to. I don't know. Give her breasts like I see some children's books do with fucking birds.
Or trees.
Ugh. God, you brought up the last unicorn again.
I can never. Every time I blink, I can see it.
God, Lily, just.
It's
So there's also the. So there's both implicit bias in this movie and there's explicit bias, and like it's very clear. Like even Judy's parents are like racist at the beginning of the movie, and like I think throughout the course of the movie they kind of come around. Gideon develops as a character and like also develops a like southern accent for some reason.
Yeah, that's the more questionable part about this movie. Where the frick did this southern accent come from?
Yeah, the fuck?
So I was actually watching a video about Zootopia. Actually, no, I was watching a video on redemption arcs, and even on the timestamp, it was like Gideon Gray parentheses. No, seriously.
Uh, yeah, that's a weird redemption arc to talk about because
Definitely, but it makes sense in a way.
he has a collective total of probably not even 5 minutes of screen
Oh
time.
yeah, not even 5 minutes of screen time. But I think one of the biggest reasons is like when he's apologizing to Judy, he's using these very big and fancy words that someone like him probably wouldn't say, especially when he hears, he says, "Oh, that's a four-quarter word." I forgot what he actually said, but we just call them night howlers. So the main thing about him is like he sought therapy.
Yeah. Then there's like also
That
the way
sorry.
how do I put this? It's weird to talk about redemption arcs like as small as these when you have big ones that are like praised, like say Zuko. I mean, it's probably the most well written redemption arc in all of fiction. But then even within Zootopia, there's another redemption arc that is worth discussing more, and it's Judy's.
I mean, I think he does. Talks about. I mean, he's talking about good and bad redemption arcs. Or were they redemption arcs or just? Oh wait. I thought it was the video of redemption arcs for controlling characters. I watch a lot of videos.
Yeah, but like I don't know. So something else I appreciate is that they don't try to force a romance between Judy and Nick
I love this. This is
because like
my favorite
I
aspect about this movie.
I feel like that could get really weird. Like if they did try it. pretty much as weird as like what they would do with Loki and Sylvie in the Loki show, because that was fucking weird.
Yeah. God, but I love, like, even if they, let's just take for imagine that this makes sense in this universe, and one day they would fall in love, blah, blah, blah.
Fucking Pokemon up in here.
Yeah. I mean,
Like, it makes about as much as sense as Pokemon.
mm, but God, there's so much fan fiction.
I don't want to imagine that.
Uh, you don't have to. Um, but I like the movie would be. First of all, it's way too short. Like you already know the time frame that Judy is given. It's way too short to just blossom up a romance. At the so at the end of the movie, they're just good friends and partners. That is what I love deeply about this movie.
That could also be potentially problematic, like as police officers, if they were to have a romance, because that's not good.
Yeah, probably.
You really do not need to have that deep of a personal attachment to your police partner. It can actually make things a bit more dangerous for you out in the field. That kind of relationship needs to be kept like professional. Um, Which actually might be a little concerning, but it might actually be a little bit concerning that they are friends going into it, but whatever. It's a Disney movie.
I mean, it's a Disney movie, Disney plot. I mean, yeah. I mean, yes, there are savages. That's happening, but you know, they don't really have guns. I don't know.
Have you checked out Zootopia Plus at all?
God, I was just about to say that. Like, I need to. Like, when it was announced, I was like, oh yes, I have to get all in on this, and I forgot. And I think I remember like sometime in October. It's like, damn, it's not out yet. I haven't checked it out.
Well, yeah, I haven't checked it out either. I remember when it was announced, I was like, huh, okay. um, yeah, maybe I'll check it out one of these days, but who knows? But I think like the bottom line, like I think overall it's a good movie. I'm concerned about how well it's going to age, and also the twist villain just sucks. I mean, she's not as bad as Hans,
Ugh, Hans.
but I mean that's not really a high bar.
Oh yeah, no. I guess you can't really say much about that.
But yeah, I think overall, I think this is it's a fairly all right movie. It probably won't age well, but we'll have to see.
Hmm. The only way to see if it ages well or not is let it age.
Yeah. So 20 years from now, you guys can tell us if it aged like milk or aged like wine.
Or maybe just aged like, I don't know, this plastic bottle. It's just a plastic bottle.
All right. But anyway, I don't really think I have much more to say. Do you?
Um, there isn't
Oops,
much I
my
want to
elbow just
say,
hit the
except
table.
there is one aspect that I love about this movie is that with a lot of movies with animals, they tend to do one big thing as like, oh, and they're all humans. They're just basically all humans. And I like how they kept their animal qualities with this movie.
I
Especially,
guess they still don't really
what?
they still don't really act like animals. Like they're no Doug from Doug Days or Up, I guess.
I mean, obviously, they're not so they're not dumb like our animals, but um I think there's this quality of animating them like the animals that they are and not just more humans. Because then why didn't you
Yeah.
just make a movie with humans instead of animals?
I'll tell you why, because a movie with humans with this plot line would have been a lot more controversial.
Definitely, yeah. But I guess it's like other movies. Like, why did you make cats? Why? And the only other thing
Okay.
I need to bring up is the Naturalist Club was kind of funny.
That kind of made me feel weird. I'm like, uh, yeah, okay, this is a nudist colony. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know if this is funny or weird.
It was both. It was both. Okay, now I'm ready.
All right, so critic ratings. Um, IMDb gives this an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes gives it 98%. Facebook gives it 4 out of
Who the
5.
hell asked Facebook?
Google, apparently. 88% of Google users liked the movie. And yeah, that's it for the critic reviews.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, who asked for your opinion, Facebook? We sure didn't. Okay. So I think I want to get in like the middle of those, unless I misheard one of them. Um Definitely high eights, so I'm gonna say 8.7.
I'm going to give this an 8.0 simply because I just don't know how this is going to age. And that does have me concerned. And like also the twist with Bellwether, I think that was her name, or was it Melweather? One of the two. Um, that twist sucked, but overall the rest of the movie was fun. I like Judy and Nick's chemistry, but yeah, I mean, there's concerns. Anyway, you can join us tomorrow for Amphibia Season 2 and next week for Bad Guys and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2. But until then, I've been Avory, that's been Lily, and I want pictures of Spider-Man on my desk by tomorrow.